So, ladies and gentlemen, as my Christmas gift to you, I have to get egotistical here, and I hope you really could bear with me. I have an alter ego. He's probably the largest animal in animated history, probably close to about 5 or 6 feet tall. Sarcastic, self-deferential, doesn't like morons, doesn't like people that don't like other people, and he's always pushy and, well, pretty well like me, but like I said, a little bit more nice with the cowl because I'm losing hair on the top of my head. Of course, going to talk about to me he's real, but he's animated to many people. Of course, it's got to be Foghorn Leghorn. Now, Foghorn Leghorn is a cartoon character that first appeared in the Looney Tunes and Merry Melody cartoons and films from the Canadian-dominated Warner Brothers, because the Warner Brothers are Canadian. He was created by Robert McKimson and writer Warren Foster and starred in 29 major cartoons from 46 to 64 in the golden age of American animation. Now, all 29 of these cartoons were also directed by McKimson. Now, Foghorn Leghorn's first appearance was in the 1946 Henry Hawk short Walkie Talkie Hockey, and Foghorn's voice was created and originally performed by Mel Blanc, and was later performed by a different series of talented voice actors. Now, Foghorn was directly inspired by the character of Senator Cleghorn, a blustery Southern politician played by Kenny Delmar on Fred Allen's popular 1940s radio show. He adopted many of Cleghorn's catchphrases, such as, "Ah, see, and that's a joke, son." Now, Delmar's inspiration for Cleghorn was a Texas rancher who was fond of saying this. Now, according to Leonard Maltin, the character's voice was also patterned after a hard-of-hearing West Coast-only radio character from the 1930s, simply known as the Sheriff, on a radio program called Blue Monday Jamboree. The accent has similarities that of another Mel Blanc voice, Yosemite Sam, which was a strictly Frizz-Freeling character, and even more similar to the Proto Sam character in Stage Door cartoon. Now, physically, Foghorn is a big animal, depicted as a tall, overweight rooster with a southern accent. He is easily the tallest of all the regular Looney Tune characters. He has a bombastic and somewhat unrefined personality, adding to which he shows a penchant for mischief. Aside from the Senator Cleghorn reference, his first name, Foghorn, is indicative of his loud-mouthed personality, while his surname, Leghorn, refers to a particularly Italian breed of chickens. Now, Foghorn often fancies himself a mentor figure to the smaller and younger characters he encountered, particularly Henry Hawk, tossing up bits of South-style, saggishly injected with phrases like, "Hey, pay attention, son," or "Look at me when I'm talking to you, boy," both of which borrowed heavily from Senator Cleghorn's vernacular. Now, in Camptown Races, the classic cartoon, beginning with Henhouse Henry, Foghorn would perform a verse from the Stephen Foster song Camptown Races, softly humming the lyrics while loudly singing the refrain, "Doo-dah, doo-dah," and then the verse again loudly, "Oh, the doo-dah day." He often hummed the song more than once in a given short, though in the 1950 cartoon, the Leghorn Blows at Midnight, he hummed Camptown only at the beginning, but then hummed Old MacDonald in two later scenes. Camptown Races essentially became Foghorn's signature tune and one of the most widely frequently uses of the song in popular culture. Now, we're going to get into something that caused part of the Foghorn to be banned in Canada because of violence. Now, he had a rivalry with a character called Barnyard Dog for a number of years. Now, many of Foghorn's cartoons involve his perennial prank war with the Barnyard Dog, who often addresses Foghorn as Foggy, though it is never revealed how wide their feud started in the first place. Foghorn is often the initial aggressor, but unlike most of the other Looney Tunes rivalries, Foghorn pranks Dog out of sheer self-amusement. But for all of Foghorn's pranks, Dog is just adept at retaliation. Now, most of the Leghorn cartoons became the same, with Foghorn humming Camptown Races to himself and carrying a wooden plank, sleeps up on Dog while he's sleeping, also facing into his doghouse with his back protruding out the entry hole. Foghorn then pulls Dog up by his tail and uses the plank to give him a multiple whacking on his rear. In nearly every cartoon, Foghorn gives Dog 8 whacks, at which point the angry dog chases after Foghorn, barking, but only goes so far as the rope or chain to which he is tied, which either yanks him back or stops him. In the later case, he keeps barking at Foghorn when who tells him, shut up, or does something to Dog to force him to stop. In the 1958 short Feather Bluster, the prank feud was passed down to Dog's and Foghorn's respective grandsons, and the now elderly Foghorn was puzzled as to why the little Leghorn was behaving the way he was. But the elderly Dog was only too happy to point out there's nothing wrong with him, except that he takes after you. Other recurring themes throughout these cartoons, including attempts of the naive and diminutive Henry Hawk to catch and eat Foghorn, and Foghorn's own efforts to woo the witted hen Miss Prissy, often by babysitting her studious son, Egghead Jr. Now, Foghorn was joined in a few episodes by Weasel called Bill, who initially attempted to eat him, but ended up joining forces to outwit the aforementioned canine. Now, the 29 shorts, again, pretty well like 2 a year, but some of my favorites, including Plop Goes the Weasel, Little Boy Boo, Feather Dusted, The High and the Flighty with Daffy Duck, Rah Rah Rooster, the Dixie Flyer 1967, and of course the last one with Bugs Bunny called False Air. Now, Foghorn did appear in several major productions, including Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Bugs Bunny Christmas Carol, and Cock-a-Doodle-Doodle, which was, of course, voiced by Jeff Bennett. Now, Foghorn made a cameo appearance in Who Framed Roger Rabbit in the final scene of Marvin Acme's Factory, along with several other Looney Tunes characters. Now, he made numerous appearances in Tiny Toon Adventures, and including Professor of Hound Teasing, baseball coach, and obnoxious loud librarian, also mentor of Foulmouth. Now, Foghorn Leghorn also appeared in Tasmania, The Animaniacs, 2 Chuck Jones shorts of the 1990s, including Superior Duck and Pulitzer Prize, voiced on both occasions by Frank Gorshin, of all people. Now, a character named Mr. Leghorn, based on Foghorn himself, made appearances in Looney Tunes Unleashed. He's also part of the Toon Squad in Space Jam. A toddler version of Foghorn made appearances in music videos of Baby Looney Tunes. Croupier and Looney Tunes Back in Action, the big movie from 2 decades ago. Commercials for Kentucky Fried Chicken, Oscar Mayer, and most recently Geico. He also appears in the Looney Tunes show, voiced by Jeff Bergman, and was a general in Looney Tunes Rabbit's Run, again by Jeff Bergman. And he made a cameo appearance in the Wabbit episode Bugs vs. Snail, again voiced by Jeff Bergman. Now, voice actors of the character: Mel Blanc, Gilbert Mack, Jeff Bergman, Keith Scott, Greg Burson, Jewel Lasky, Billy West, Frank Gorshin, Bill Farmer, Jeff Bennett, Scott McNeil, Maurice LaMarche, Seth MacFarlane, and Family Guy, Scott Innes in the Boomerang Bumpers, Damian Jones, the singer and voice in the Looney Tunes show, and of course the Canadian Eric Bazot in the Looney Tunes World of Mayhem. Now, Foghorn would pretty well last forever. I grew up and I became enamored with Foghorn as an early age, because at the time I loved Bugs Bunny, but Foghorn really appealed to me more than anything else, because no matter how shitty life would get, there could be somebody like Foghorn in your family or at school who would basically say the famous line, man's like a church, bats in a belfry. Now, is Foghorn the number 2 Looney Tune character of all time? No, he's definitely top 5. Because, Bugs, Tweety, Sylvester, Taz, and Foghorn. But I love Foghorn for one specific reason. He's literate. He doesn't want anybody to the idea of most people needing a Foghorn in their life. Foghorn Leghorn, if he wasn't around, someone would have to create him. And that's why the more people think like Foghorn, the better world it could be. Donald Trump, you know what Foghorn would say about Donald Trump? Man's crazy. Think just because he ran a football league, he can run the nation. The man's crazy. You know what I'm saying? The man's crazy. It's better than saying the asinine orange devil that's sending the states a hell in a handbasket. Foghorn would say, oh, don't worry, he's going to be out in 2 weeks, or 4 weeks, or whatever it is. Don't worry, that 97-year-old president coming in is going to cure everything. I say so. So, Foghorn Leghorn, if you don't like him, please cancel your subscription to my podcast channel. And if you want to criticize Foghorn, find another avenue, because Foghorn rules the roost. Get it? Rules the roost in my life. Have a good day. Bye.